Tonight, the startling new evidence that could blow the lid on the Perth Mint swindle.
There's very few local stories that have dominated their headlines for 3 decades.
On June 22nd, 2,185 ounces of gold simply disappeared.
It encompassed the theft of the gold from the Perth Mint.
Although no gold had been found, Ray, Peter and Brian were convicted in March 1983.
Police fabrication of evidence.
I've disgraced the good members of the WA Police Force.
It's undermined the justice system in a lot of ways.
I've always known I was innocent of these crimes.
It's just got every element of a major television story.
A 20-ounce gold bar missing from the Perth Mint swindle was today received in the mail by 7 Nightly News reporter Alison Fan.
Then, just 3 months later, I got another letter saying, go down to the entrance of Channel 7, have a look at 2 oil containers. Inside those oil containers was $1 million worth of gold pellets. They looked like cornflakes. Who would send back $1 million worth of gold? Nobody knows. Nobody can say to this day.
Major malfunction. My house burned down.
I just yelled out, has anyone got a torch? The dingo's got my baby.
The tanks rolled out of the square.
Barlow and Chambers have been brought back here to Pinjarra Prison in Penang, where they've been held since they were arrested at the airport 21 months ago.
Gosh, the Barlow and Chambers story was such an eye-opener to us all as to what could happen to people in foreign countries.
Whether or not they are guilty of trafficking in 180 grams of heroin now seems irrelevant.
It was a political hot potato because all of a sudden you've got 2 Australians being sentenced to death.
What is real is the short walk tomorrow morning at dawn from their tiny prison cell on death row to where Poodoo Prison's hangman will be waiting.
They were going to hang. There was no question.
The executions took place just now, and the bodies have been sent to the mortuary.
The poor man.
The case of the Burnies is also an enduring memory for a lot of people in Perth.
This was a time when nobody had an inkling that serial killers were on the loose.
The gruesome details of the state's worst mass murder emerged when 35-year-old David Burney admitted killing the 4 women and abducting and sexually assaulting a 16-year-old girl who escaped.
Police constantly denied it. In fact, they even came out and accused me and Channel 7 of being irresponsible for running stories that a serial killer could be around when these girls were going missing.
The tightest security seen in years surrounded the old courthouse here in Fremantle this morning.
We've never seen scenes like this in a court before. It was almost a lynch mob mentality.
Bloody mongrel bastard.
If I was inside there, I'll kill you.
The crowd were outraged. Here were 4 girls brutally murdered and tortured. Cold-blooded killers.
Alison Fan there, making news herself in some cases. Well, this extraordinary technology called television just kept on evolving. And in March 1975, Channel 7 switched to colour.
It sure did. It changed the way we viewed TV and the way we made it.
1975 is going to be a very, very important year for television right throughout Australia. It's going to be more important for you people too, because you're going to see colour television for the first time.
Well, so much had been said about this new medium called colour television. It was momentous. We had this big tower built in the studio here, and we invited the then Premier, Sir Charles Court, to come in and turn on the colour. We had this big switch, and he pulled it down, then magically everything was in colour.
This is the wonderful world of colour. Let's say goodbye to the world of grey.
It was an exciting new age. And everyone went overboard with colours.
We're going to show you what some of the programs look like in colour that you're seeing now.
Our children's program sets were all of a sudden really bright and colourful.
Right, because we finally made it. And hi to all the girls and boys out there. And we're finally here in living colour.
People in colour. Programs in colour.
Q. I'm green on Seven's colour machine, The Muppet Show.
I'm brown, so what?
I can remember its academic set being pretty well subdued, and all of a sudden we had bright green and bright yellow.
OK, Morley, ready for the questions?
Yes.
Good. Tony, would you select the packet, please?
Number 3, please, Mr. Newman.
One day I'm standing there and a little boy said to his mum, "There's Trina, and she's all coloured in."
They're on you and
was a brand new thing all over again. Television rediscovered.
Now, you're wondering why colour was minus the U at the end there?
I was wondering.
OK, well, in the 70s, our special effects were all done in America, but something we did do very well here was entertain.
Indeed, colour coincided with a bright new world for all of us. We launched the Perth Entertainment Centre, which at the time was the biggest purpose-built theatre of its kind in the world. It even made the Guinness Book of Records.
How about that? Opened in 1974, it took Perth to the world. In 1979, Miss Universe was watched live by an estimated 700 million people around the planet.
Oh, it was massive. 7 was all things entertainment. We even swept the Premier of the day off his feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, this is a wonderful day for the city of Perth.
Welcome to this live colour telecast of the official opening of the Channel 7 Edgeley Entertainment Centre.
Here I am, Bob, here in Perth to bring you mirth, hope.
Live from the new heart of Perth, welcome to the official opening celebrations of Cinema City.
The biggest live show to ever come to Australia.
We want Mickey. We want Mickey.
Hey, Fred! What were you driving?
Ladies and gentlemen, we give you the Andrews Sisters to sing In the Mood.
We told our friends here in Perth that we like to get out and see the country. Children, you want some kangaroo tail?
Tonight's direct from the Perth Concert Hall.
Plenty of laughs, plenty of games, lots of songs, and of course, lots of pretty girls.
Miss Western Australia 1968 is Miss Yvonne Johnson.
Christine Anderson of Sorrento.
Karen Lynn Gregory.
Francine Morass of Victoria Park.
Jay Hopewell from Western Australia.
Number 4, Stephanie Andrews.
Miss Western Australia 1984 is Leslie Cobb.
Miss Randy Baker of
Number 3, Karen Peony.
I wanna go back to WA, back to WA. That's the only place for me.
Miss Universe, we were so excited about that because, I mean, that was big time, serious overseas stuff.
It was live to the entire world, well, the known universe as it was called at that time.
First runner-up is Miss Bermuda. Miss Venezuela is Miss Universe.
And then, of course, there was the awful, awful stage collapse.
And it just went kwomp, and there was a big sort of hole full of pretty young girls. You know, it's like, oh, what do we do now? You know, drag them out, I suppose. You know, oh, hello, Scotland, how you doing? Get off Poland.
You've got to love those 70s fashions.
They were so glamorous, weren't they? It was beautiful. It wasn't all about sequins and celebrations, though, was it? Channel 7's telethon also entertained for very different reasons.
Here we go again, another telethon.
That was my favourite moment in television.